Welcome back to the second half of the Bobby Dupre Show, and of course I want to reintroduce my sidekick here, Mr. Andrew Guitros.
Good
Thank
morning.
you for being with us, and let's get right into it. And we have a group of pictures, not a whole lot, and others that I might have taken and are not being shown on the program. You can look it up on the photo gallery
Correct.
of the Bobby Dupre Show.
And this
This picture here was taken of Mike, and I can't pronounce your last name, Mike. It's Hon, Hon Hon. And he's in the landscape business, but he comes here by way of Belgium, le Belgique. J'ai parlé avec lui en français, et bon, ses yeux ouverts comme ça.
Oh, yeah.
Et là, sa maman, et la petite femme que dans le picture, elle a venu et parler avec moi quelques mois, et elle allait essayer l'anglais.
Right.
Et moi, je veux parler français. Et parce que je comprends tout quelque chose, mais ça m'a force pour parler. Et ça, c'est des bons amis de Belgique. Et nous autres avions deux compagnies de Belgique à rester ici. Et moi, j'avais un gros party pour les autres à ma maison. Peut-être toi, tu es venu à ça des années passées. Et Lalonde et sa fille et Joe Lalonde, qui n'est pas ici avec nous autres à cette heure, c'était des gros travailleurs pour avoir les Belgiques ici. Et j'ai bon temps. Anyhow, I'm going to get back to my...
There was a bunch of them that came, for sure.
Oh, there was a group, and I think they came twice. And, of course, we had group that went, and I didn't make that.
Right.
And I really feel bad I didn't, because these are the kind of people, and their French and our French is very close to the same. He is now in the landscape business. What his specialty is designing the flower beds and the original plantings. He doesn't do lawn care, the grass cutting, just the flower beds and the design. And I would think that he would do a very good job for you. He lives right here in Sunset in the Hidden Hills subdivision. It shows Arnaville address, but right out of Sunset, Grand Coteau there. And he retired from the school system here in St. Landry Parish. He was in one of the originators of the French immersion program years ago, and he recognized my last name as Dupre, and he asked me, you know Miss Andre Dupre Risson? I said, that's my niece. Yeah, I sure do. And of course, Andre was very active in the French immersion program here, and now works for the Lafayette Parish.
Right.
And of course, that's my brother John and Norma Lee's daughter. And anyhow, we had a great time. His mother's name is Maggie. She's here visiting her son, and they're having a good time. They live in Liège, Belgium. It's about the size of Baton Rouge, possibly settled about the year of 800. I mean,
they've been around there a while.
And you almost forced to speak multi-languages because they're in about
close together, Germany, France, and then they've got their own strain of Dutch.
And Germany.
Right.
And Germany. Okay, all right, okay.
What?
I guess they asked me if I knew Miss Ruby and Walton Gautreaux, and I said, very well. He retired, I guess, after the closure of Clover Farm Creamery many years ago. They're very good friends, so I want to tell, pretty sure that Walton and Miss Ruby watched the program. Your friend, Mr. Mike, says good morning to you all.
And we got a picture of you eating some cake. It looks like at Ruth's Chris.
Yep, that was my birthday cake. It was a couple of days later. It was Friday night. but I was entertained and taken. This is about the 4th year in a row that Joe and Billy Swallow take me out to dinner. And I want to thank them, and here's Miss Vicky and I enjoying the dessert here.
And the whole crew.
And then the whole crew, the waitress took the picture. And this, you know, I guess people must laugh when I leave them. I was waiting to get a wedding present wrapped. You know, Ardell and Blaine's daughter, English, is marrying a young Nassif, Jason Nassif. And while we were in Lafayette shopping, I said, let's go. No, I didn't. Vicky says, why don't we go
get a present?
Get a present. So we went up to Dillard's and got a present, and we're having it wrapped. And I just have to talk to somebody, I guess. And the lady in the right of this picture, if you show the picture kind of big, there you are, right there. She is Miriam Chapman, better known as Mimi, and her husband is Randy. And the young lady in the middle is Allison Pete, and she is marrying Randy and Mimi's son, Craig, in March, maybe March the 2nd, it says right here. And their reception will be held at the Wolf Hall in Washington, Louisiana. And of course, the lady all the way on the left is Andrea Pete. She was quick to tell me her husband was Brent Pete, who we know. And Randy and Miriam transplanted here after the storm, like so many others. You realize how often we have someone.
Sure.
And I mean, this lady is not going back there. She loves it down here.
Very good.
And he has relocated his business in the Karen Crow area, and they're doing well, and I've certainly enjoyed and want to wish the young couple getting married, Allison and Craig, nothing but successful years.
The weather's so much cooler up here in Opelousas compared to New Orleans. I mean, we even have ice and ice skaters and ice gators and everything else, right?
And that's right.
There's the ice gator bus.
Sunday, the ice gators were entertained over in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana at Buck and Johnny's.
Oh, right.
And the only person missing, and I wanted to see him, was Chuck Anselmo, who started his business career, to my knowledge, right here in Opelousas, then moved over to the Lafayette area on University, became a Mayflower agent, and maybe was a Mayflower agent, moving agent. Might have had that franchise here, but he certainly had it in Lafayette. Then he went on to have storage files, which is
big business. You have to retain files so many years.
Did very, very well. And he and his son, who is the third, Chuck Anselmo the third, he purchased the ice gators. He and he might have some partners. I'm not sure. Let's look at the young.
Back to the young guys.
Look how young these ice gators are, and I thought that it was going to be a little bit older group, and I told them that
it's not the top league; it's the lower league. So these are young men who are working their way, hopefully, to live their dream to move up.
That's correct, and. Here
that's ice gators there too.
Yeah. That's some old ice gators like us. We eat the ice now. We use the ice in our drinks.
That's right.
Bobby Martin on the left, Hammy Patin right there in the back of him in the kind of tan jacket, and then sitting down is Mr. Johnny Raymond, and Bobby Dupre right in the back of Mr. Johnny, and none other than the comedian, the bank president, the state representative, Fred Mills. How you doing, Fred? Comment ça va, cher? He is the man, and at the table we had a delicious meal. Vicky and Judy, Hammy's wife, and then Mr. Johnny and Miss Courtney, and of course Fred is cutting up right here, and that's Miss Courtney, and then this is Courtney's son and granddaughter sitting having dinner with us. A delicious meal.
Cool, look down at you.
Yep, and that young man, give me a shot. Let me get my names corrected. I have them. That's Louis Dumont. He is the general manager. Spoke a little bit of French with him, not much, because he was born on the western side on Alberta, I think is where he was born.
Okay, right.
Not much French spoken there.
No.
The French is around the Quebec, Montreal area, and a little bit to the east of that, all the way down into the United States, into Maine and Connecticut there. There's some French
Sure.
settlements there. And in the middle of this picture here is Gaston. And Gaston is the young son of Alphonse, who was the Ice Gator mascot for the previous Ice Gators of the past.
Pretty good.
And Bobby Dupre. And this young man, I asked Louis, I said, Louis, you have any locals? He said, believe it or not, I have two of them that are on the team. This young man here is, oh shoot, I have it down here, Lester Barra Jr. Can you imagine
No
Lester
kidding.
Barra's young son? Good looking young fella. And of course, Lester wasn't a bad looking dude himself.
Right.
Good morning to the Barra family. And then the other young man, I didn't get a picture. He got up, he was sitting next to him. He got up before I could get the camera going. And he was a Duplantis, and he comes from the Thibodeau area.
Very good.
And then this is the long table of all the Ice Gators, and I think they enjoyed themselves.
The Gatorettes down the end looks like. Huh?
Yeah, Gatorettes. Yeah, I never thought about that. And then, of course, I had to go in the kitchen and take a picture of the staff that was waiting on us. That's the staff along with, I called her name,
chef?
Angèle.
Angèle.
Angèle. Well, Angèle, her name is Angèle,
Right.
or is it? Her family name is Angèle.
She's
for
an
sure.
Angèle.
She's an Angèle.
She's Chef Angèle.
Chef Angèle.
Ah, you got it.
And Scott Angèle is her uncle, and we're going to
There you
show
go.
a picture of her daddy in a minute.
All right. We're
And
getting there. There's some of the awards and different
that
things for
Mr. Johnny
Raymond has. With,
they too
as
long.
a U.S. Army Ranger.
You
and
can look
military.
up Johnny Raymond on Google him up, and you're gonna. It's
He's in
very
everything.
interesting. He has a tremendous military career. What an individual!
Right.
And here on the left is Miss Angèle, the chef's father, and the man next to him is Mr. Buck, the Johnny and Buck. Well, that's Mr.
There you
David
go.
Buck, and he is an investor of the original Ice Gators
Very good.
and other members of the family.
And
then that was Tuesday night. We went down to, and I'm not sure if I was in Vermilion Parish at the time of the dinner, or I was back in Lafayette. You wiggle in and out of there.
Right.
But this is a group of people that I had met this couple here over at the point at Ted and Melanie Bellard's lovely camp there. And this is Richie and Arella Romero. And Richie does a lot of business with Ted's Targill, the seasoning company.
Right.
And he's an interesting young man. And I enjoyed it. And this must have been Friday. I was invited over to John LaFleur's lovely home to meet some folks that he wanted me to meet.
the beautiful Catawba Guest House.
That's correct. And then inside, you didn't get any pictures?
Not inside. That's all you had.
I
You went
took
from there.
them. I took them. You lost them. I'm going to blame you
Go ahead,
because
blame me.
I have a picture of John LaFleur. I have a picture of Miss Rose May. She was a Harris prior to marriage. No. I'll take that back. It was not your fault. I didn't get the pictures from the young man right here, Norris Fontenot,
Now we
from
got it.
Mamou, Louisiana.
KSLO will see you on the other side of 3 now that I've been vindicated.
So John and Rose and Norris would. One of y'all remind Norris to send me the pictures so that we can have them next week.
I was so worried that
Yeah,
it was me.
yeah. I know you were worried. You wasn't going to get paid. Huh?
I wasn't worried at all.
But anyhow, I had a great, but we'll get the pictures and we'll
get
come
it.
back.
Next week's show. Artigo Oil looks like you were riding by there.
After Mass, we talked to Sunday in Washington.
Right.
Talked to Mike and Myra Artigo, and I told Vicky about this. We always go to the Citgo station in Washington to have a fried egg sandwich, which we did. And I said, beside this Citgo, there's some others in the area. So I stayed on the old road right at Nuba. There's a Citgo station.
Right, and that's
and then
the one right next to Artigo Oil.
Then right there near Opelousas, right next to the property that was owned by service builders, which has recently been